Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Matt Shad. Wow, I look rough. Yes, this is another episode of the Zoot Report Sunroof Edition. Man, let's get into it, shall we? It is currently Friday, June the 12th, 2026. Friday, y'all. It is currently 91 degrees here in Northeast Ohio. Blistering hot. High UV. High UV. What does that mean? That means the sun is extremely hot right now. The sun is burning everything. I don't know. Does that make a difference? Maybe. I know it's hot. And so in this heat, let's talk about heat, shall we? Heat. It's hot, y'all. So a lot of considerations need to be made in the heat. Wow, the AC is blowing hot air. That could only mean one thing. I am out of Freon. Heat. What does heat do? Well, heat destroys. Heat expands things. Things have a tendency of expanding, gassing off, creating fumes, much more so than normal. Paint weathers, upholsteries, fade. Heat and sun, man. Heat and sun. You can take a bottle of water and set it in the sun, and that shit will boil. Anybody's ever had sun brewed tea? Oh man, that's good times, right? Put it in a glass jar, seal it up, and boom, you got tea. So a lot of considerations, your food. If you leave anything out in the sun, in the heat, it's going to spoil quickly. It is. I mean, I used to keep food in my truck, like, freeze-dried stuff, and, shit like that. Matter of fact, I gotta look through another container and see if there is any more food in there. But it can melt. I mean, if you ever left a candy bar in your car, that shit just turns to chocolate mess. You gotta take your candy bar out of the car. It's all mushy. Throw it in the freezer, let it reconstitute. Yeah, heat is a destroyer. Think of all the fluids you put in your car. Your car will overheat if you don't have water. You yourself will overheat if you don't have water, even if you do have water. Oh no, you can drink a lot of water and not succumb to heat exhaustion. You can still have it. Your tires. Everybody knows your tires heat up. Shit like that. The road itself will fucking heat up your tires. I mean, good thing they're galvanized, right? But if anybody's ever, stepped on the hot asphalt, barefooted, man, that shit can get like 120 degrees, 150 degrees, really. And anything dark absorbs heat, right? That's why when I you know, when I went overseas, Mediterranean and Okinawa, everything was white. Everything was just pearly fucking white, you know, or some kind of pastel color, or, you know, soft color. It's because it reflects heat. It doesn't absorb it. Airflow is everything. I feel like I'm getting some heat here. Turn that shit off. Yeah, I'm getting some kind of heat. Heat is coming out of my fucking exhaust. Heat will cook your mind and cook your brain. And if you got like an abandoned building somewhere, or if you got a shed and you're storing things in it, definitely don't store any canned goods or you know, anything of that nature. It's got to be in a cool, dry place, you know, cool, dark place. That's what they say. Leave it out in a shed, metal roof. Man, that shit would just boil in there. You know, heat exhaustion, I mean, same thing, right? I mean, it's our body is 70% water, right? The rest is all cookable meat. You know, and think about humidity as well, right? Humidity plays a role. It seems hotter, a lot hotter. Because it is, because the air is literally, it's more saturated with the water content. And that shit's just heating up. So you can't find comfort in it, even in the shade. Now out west they got this whole like, yeah, it's a dry heat, right? Oh yeah, it's a dry heat. That works. Uh-oh. Come here. Oh. Gotcha, bitch. Got a bag flying around back here. Had to reach back and yoink it. Snatch grab. Hope you can hear me. Got all the windows down. See if I can dampen it and still stay comfortable. I don't know. Yeah, heat has a funny way of just melting things. Candles, soft plastics. You know, it can also add to, spontaneous combustion. Yeah, you've got a rag that's soaked in oils and gasoline and shit like that. You gotta lay it out somewhere in your shed, or boom, that shit can spontaneous combust. You know, maybe the sun is coming through the window just right, prisms and magnifies off of something, and reflects and magnifies onto that rag. Boom, you got fire. You know, this is wildfire season too. Usually, wildfire season, wildfires are caused by bad actors or, you know, somebody who's being irresponsible with a campfire. But there's a lot of things in the woods that just, it gets hot and it catches on fire. conditioning, and our dogs, and our cats, and our parakeets, fruit bats, and breakfast cereals. Anyway, we seek shelter and solace in the air conditioning, which air conditioning, you know, it works off of pressure and it removes it makes the air dry and then cools it down, and then it pressurizes. It's kind of like pressurizing your cabin. So if you can caulk and seal your house and all that, windows and doors and all that shit, you'll save a lot of energy in cooling down your place. Heat dissipation, you know, heat dissipates. In physics, that's what it does. And it just goes out into the ether. You know, we see this big ball of nuclear fission and fusion going on, you know, millions of miles away. And it's so hot that it is creating a Goldilocks zone where our planet rotates around the sun. So much. Now we have life. That's what this heat does. Too close and no life can exist. Too far away, no life can exist. It's either too hot or too cold. Yep, this time of year, the reptilian mind is in a frenzy. It's so hot. I gotta eat. I gotta kill. I gotta fight. I gotta sunbathe. I gotta take a nap. I gotta eat. I gotta fight. Gotta kill. Gotta fuck. Let's go. Let's go. You know, the reptilian mind. They love this shit. You know, they're very active during the summer months, right? And you know that's also about the human reptilian mind. All those out there with those smooth brains that are just like, oh, it's hot. Let's riot. Let's murder. Let's do something. Usually it's your youth. You know, they just get a little crazy inside. The heat makes it crazy. Mix that with some alcohol, drugs, some hormones. You've got dynamite. And of course, this is when everything is organized, right? All the plans are set in motion during the summertime, because it's just it's that. What the fuck? We're speeding already. Cops are out and about. They know everybody's going to be hauling ass. Because some of us don't have good air conditioning. We got to do 80 miles an hour with the windows down. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of state troopers, a lot of police just hanging out on the highway. You know, I think there should be a law against that. I mean, we should change that. We should say, hey, during the hours of work, before work and after work, you know, those peak hour times, you know what? Speeding is permitted. Just get to work, get there safely, let's go. I mean, because there's motherfuckers that do 100 miles an hour down the highway in the morning. The rest of us are doing 70 or 80 or 90. It varies. I don't know. I like to kind of stay like a little bit above conservative. I do, allegedly, I do like to speed. Just because I like to beat the speed algorithm. You know, if it says it takes me 25 minutes to get to work, I want to get there in 20 minutes. Oh. We all know that in traffic, oh shit, look at you. We all know in traffic and everything that, you know, you'll get a slowdown. You'll get stuck in a traffic jam. And it's hot. 90 degrees. You're sitting there in your fucking car, sweating bullets, going 5 miles an hour. And it's good to have some water with you. You know, good to have your AC topped off and Freon. That's something I got to do. It has to. my AC has to warm up to cool down. I don't know. But and you see folks just fucking hauling ass. Everybody's got their fancy cars out. The classic cars come out, you know, in the heat. So heat, summertime has always been a festive time for humans, all life really. You know, it's an active time. You know, you're going to the beach, you're going to the pool, you're going fishing, you're getting the boat out onto the lake. You know, it's time to bust out the motorcycle. You know, time to put the top down on the Jeep, on the convertible, let the wind blow through your hair, cruise around. All that heat, good times. But you know, we gotta also, fuck, bro. You like my fucking lane? We have to also understand, and you just seen it. Fucking temperatures are high, right? Fuses are short. This is hot. You know, I got time for your stupidity. You know? And it's hot, so people are going to be more stupid. It's just the way it is. It's the season of bad decisions. You know, come to think of it, most of my bad decisions in life probably started in the summer. Yeah, take care of the heat. Guard your gear. You know, guard your equipment. Make sure your food and water, medical supply. Check your medical supply. Got a medical kit in your truck. It's like 190 degrees in your truck. It's about the same thing in your medical kit. So, you know, having some saline solution or your ointment. It'll just degrade that stuff. Your pills, same thing. If you're prone to keeping tasty beverages in your car, you know, let it set. Now, bullets, ammo, they do pretty good in the heat. I remember as a kid, my stepdad, he had this ugly brown fucking station wagon. And he had a gun. He had a glove box. And he always kept some ammo in there too, right? I forget what kind of gun it was. I forget what kind of ammo it was. Whatever. But I remember one summer, I was hanging out. I used to like to play with the 8-track. I would get the keys to the car and just sit in the car and mess around with the 8-track. In the hot sun, doors open. I'd say I was cleaning it, you know, and I was kind of wiping shit down, you know, whatever. You know, he's like, all right, whatever. You know, stepdad didn't care. He's like, cool. One day he came out there and, I mean, the gun was in the glove box. I knew it was there. I never touched the damn thing. No reason to. And I was in the hood. But young kid. Just different times. I mean, hell, he'd leave the car unlocked. Keys in the ignition. Matter of fact, I think the keys the ignition didn't even need the keys. He yanked them out one day. That was another trick you could do with old cars. But if you just yank the keys out of the ignition while you're driving, you don't need the keys anymore. You can just start it up. Anyway, most models, I think. But I'm sitting out there just messing around, messing with the 8-track tape, playing, whatever. Had a rag, and I'm wiping shit down. Like, he comes out there and goes, oh shit, it's hot as hell. You okay? Yeah. And he says, hey, get in the glove box and get that gun and ammo out of there. Huh? So yeah, it's 110 degrees outside. He was always kind of weary about shit, like this weird shit. I was like, oh, okay. It's been sitting in there for days in the hot sun, and he was worried about it igniting. Well, I've been in some extremely hot places in the Marine Corps, and I was loaded down with ammo. It has never spontaneously combust. It's never ignited. It's never went off. I've never heard of that. Now I have heard of cook-off in a fire. If you take some ammo and throw it in a fire, sure. But it might degrade your primer, or your if you've got sealed primers and sealed casings, it might degrade that a little bit, just because it's like whatever that shit is, whatever it's made out of, But as far as like the ammo itself, it doesn't really do much. Now it does expand. There is more expansion because that's what heat does to everything, especially metal. Is it makes it expand, right? Cold makes things contract. And I just ran through a yellow light. The cop was just looking at me like, "What the fuck, bro? Keep it stepping. I'm out." Tell me in the comments what song that is. Obscure reference to a song. Anyway, yeah, heat. It makes things gas. Swamp gas, methane gas, sewer gas. I remember something about back in the day, like 1800s. Paris had like a fucking swamp, or had a sewer / catacomb fire that was spreading underneath the sewers and the catacombs, because the gases were emitting. They usually emit, and it's so cold down there, but as they're off-gassing through the vents or whatever, as it vents up, they were catching on fire. It was so fucking hot. And spreading down into the catacombs, into the sewers. They had to figure out a way to off-gas that shit. Paint. Oh man, house paint. A lot of house paint has this like UV protection in it, just because, and the sun just bakes that paint that's on your house, bakes it, and it has to have like this UV protector in it. Same thing with roofs. We were making rubber roofing products. It needed some type of UV protector, UV reflector, mixed into the solution. Yet still, like 10-15 years of constant sun, it would degrade the paint, make it fade, make it give it weak spots in the paint. Anything under the paint would boil up, and pop through. This protective covering. I've seen vinyl siding fucking not done right. It just like warps. places like South Carolina and Florida, California, you know, hot places on the coastline. They just had shit just bake. Dry rot on your tires. Heat will destroy just about anything. The heat and the sun. I mean, it's radiation. It's literally radiation. You know, and that's what we use to cook with, right? That's the whole process of cooking is radiation, a chemical process that creates heat and radiates heat, and heat dissipates from that fuel source. I mean, that was like I really didn't want to get when I was living in South Carolina. I bought my car. I really didn't want to get like you know, tinted windows and all that. I was like, you know, I'll do it myself. And I was talking to folks, and they're like, no, you got to have it done right. And if you don't buy the right shit, everything's gonna bake in your car. You know, you're gonna fade all your upholstery, you know, all that crap. So it's best to have it done. And so I literally paid, I think it was $1,000 to get 3M tint, and yeah, it worked out well. My car was a lot cooler. All right, girl. All right, chica. She's a little thick. And that's the other thing about heat. Summertime. Sun's out, guns out. Yep. Everybody's wearing their tan, their cut-off shirts. I got sleeveless shirts. The girls are running around in their little sports bras, Daisy Dukes, or, you know, little bikinis and cover-ups. You know, us guys, we're wearing flip-flops, cargo pants, cut-off sleeves, or going shirtless. Right? Definitely got to wear sunglasses. You know, the sun will make you blind out here. So what that also means is now you have less protective material on your body. Right? You know, so if you're running through the woods, I'm a big fan of flip-flops. I'm all about that flip-flop life. Yes, sir. I will fight a war in flip-flops. Shit. The Vietnamese did it. Why can't I? So, but that also means that, especially for us melatonin challenged individuals, you know, for me, 30 minutes in the sun, and I am burnt. That's it. I am burnt. Really, I am burnt. So I gotta have the sunscreen, or I gotta cover up, you know, cover up my skin, you know, or I'm gonna burn everything. Shit, I've already done irreparable damage to my skin when I was younger. You know, the Tennessee sun really did a number on me. But even black folks, I mean, I've seen y'all sunburn too, so it happens. It fucking happens. The sun will bake you. You know, and knowing, you know, seeing the signs and recognizing the signs in yourself and others of heat stroke, heat exhaustion, you know, slurring of speech. It goes, if everybody is profusely sweating, and that one person's not, or you're not, you're getting close to some sunstroke or sun exhaustion. You know, having a little headache, or your speech is slurred, your vision is blurry. You know, cramps. You're getting cramps, muscle cramps and shit. Yeah, you're getting close to heat exhaustion. You need to find a cool place to hang out. Find air conditioning. You know, most of our heat dissipates from our head and our our undercarriage. Men and women. That's why swamp ass is a thing. Swamp ass. So, you know, heat, yeah, usually it's mostly through the head, because that's who we are, right? We stand, so our heat dissipates up, heat rises, and so sometimes I just go hatless. I can't deal with it. You know, I have a hat on, and my brain is literally baking. If you got a nice hat, it's got a lot of mesh in it, mesh covering for heat dissipation. That's cool. But even then, you might get a little hot. I remember some of the things, like if you got a shemach or a daishiki or stuff like that, very very thin porous linen that can allow for heat dissipation, yet stop the UV rays from literally burning your skin. That's pretty cool. Tarps. Thus I have found that tarps in the middle of, say, the middle of a field or something like that, they just trap the heat and bake you. I mean, oh my God. Even if you try to vent it, they just trap the heat. Especially on a rooftop. Ask me how I know. But, yeah, good times. Heat. Summertime, and the living's easy. Woo. Until it's hot. Man, what's better in the hot sun than having a beer, ice cold beer or iced tea. Oh man, or some of y'all folks that drink soda, ice cold Coca-Cola. Oh man. But you got to be careful of cooling yourself down too fast. That's the thing too. You can fuck yourself up that way. Drink, cool your body down too fast, and you can get all fucked up. Now, another heat issue, and I found this out, is like when you're working out in the hot sun, you overheat. Your body generates heat when you're doing strenuous activity. It's part of, especially men, it's part of that process, that metabolic process, because you've got your muscles, your engines are firing, your blood is pumping, your heart is working overtime to pump blood in and out, and trying to cool you down. That's where the sweating is coming in, right? If you're sweating, so you got to constantly have water not only inside your body for your internal organs and your muscles, but also to be able to cool yourself off so that your body can sweat. And testosterone is part of that too. Testosterone is that when you're working out, men, when you're working out there and you feel your body heating up, you're doing some strenuous, that's your testosterone firing up. You're like, yeah, let's go, right? That internal fire that burns inside us men. Captain Caveman. Yeah. But we got to find a way to cool down. Anybody knows that wearing a freaking plate carrier, oh my God, it retains all the heat. So you gotta vent that shit off. I have been looking into some carrier, vented carrier things that kind of cool things down a little bit, help dissipate the heat, and are comfortable enough to wear. Like the first ones I seen that I tried, they were just like, oh my God, it felt like I had a cheese grater against my skin in plate carrier. But now they make fans and shit. There's a battery powered water shirt. That's pretty cool. Almost like the dune suits, you know? Get this water circulating. It's cooled down like a little air conditioner. I need to talk to my friend the engineer. Goes thinking, I got an idea. Anyway, yeah, heat. What are some other considerations that you can think of while dealing with heat, extreme heat, or just everyday in general heats of the summer? Hot damn, hot time, summer in the city. Back of my neck getting dirty and gritty. I have seen heat, summer heat, just destroy a lot of things. A lot of things. And please, 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 please do not leave your dogs, cats, pigs, goats, chickens, lizards, kids in a car. Right? Just married. All right, just married. Congratulations. Please. Within like 5 minutes, it gets 190 degrees. Even if you got the car running and, you know, AC's pumping, maybe that's a good idea. But, you know, still, you don't know what the dog or the kid is doing in there. They could, you know, accidentally turn the car off or some shit. Turn the air conditioning on, turning knobs, pushing buttons. You know, things happen. I mean, I was only out there for 5 minutes, you know. Somebody could see that and go, you know what? I'm breaking this window. I don't know how long they've been in that car. So yeah, stock up on your ice cream. Stock up on your Freon. That's something I need to do. Get my vehicles air conditioned. Now's the time. And I've been listening to a friend of mine. Y'all might know him. His name is Ghost Lincoln. He is a HVAC master. Okay, so folks, you don't have to like turn your air conditioning all the way down to like 30 degrees. Okay, you're destroying your air conditioning. You're breaking shit. That's why your air conditioning keeps breaking down. You cool it gradually, you know. Keep it like 70 or something. You don't need it like 60 fucking degrees. Yeah, it's hot for a reason. Enjoy it. Acclimate to it. Get out there. Sit in the hot sun. I don't know. Fucking open your windows. Install a fan. Sit under the shade of the old oak tree and drink fucking lemonade. Ice cold lemonade and, I don't know, maybe a beer or two. I mean, that's a good idea. But yeah, it's hot, y'all. That's what it do. It gets hot. And it heats things up. So please take special considerations during the summertime, during this period of extreme heat for yourself, your gear, and others. I'm at home now. We'll be doing Lackluster Fridays later on. Hopefully this video drops before that. Till then, skull. Here we go.